up. I felt like a bank with the roll in my jeans.
Is the mic off? Did you cut your mic? Good, because I don't need nobody reaching out to us about your feet. Do you want some?
He has a hell of a drive.
What year drive? The Plater?
Early 90s for the other side. Old school, come and holler at me. I ain't claiming nothing, 95. 96, do a trick on the dick. 97, be fucking.
Yeah, I might be going to Brady
nigga, they just same name, but it ain't in the question. Jock, give me a still dick right. Get the hell out my way, ho. Eyes on me like some sunglasses, gotta shine on them what they made for. If I'm a boss on the shot, call on the mama 16 to a 24. If you do the math, that ain't really bad. I ain't double up, but I was fucking close. Ask around, they say I do the most. Looking for me, nigga, something like a ghost, and Mr. Hunt, nigga. Get smoked like a blunt, nigga. Looking like a liquor, you a cut, nigga. You can't afford to smoke, cause I'm rush, nigga. I'm exotic breeder, you much, nigga. Big shit out the bunch, nigga. Big B's on you bum niggas. I just put up in the Maybach. Millennium bitches like what's that? Hey, nigga, you drop it on my thumb sex. And while I put up the roof like an angel. She told me don't be I don't need a word for that. Then I remember what my daddy told me.
He's supposed to be a little rapper.
Shake back, he having fun now. But I'm packing with you learn now. It's my money now, want it now. You can get wet, cause the check work.
This, who's this? He reminds me of Yaz. You know who Yaz is, right? And then there's a boy name, the one that was on Empire.
Oh, okay.
Hakeem.
Hakeem.
Yeah, from Hakeem. And then his name, it's not Hakeem?
That's how I know.
Oh, okay. That's why I was like, that's what I think his name, Yaz. But you know, he got locked up in the whole stuff. Yeah, he was beating on his girl or something. And his mustache was bad. I was like, baby, you shouldn't. And then Jussie in jail. I'm like,
oh,
yeah.
we'll talk about that.
My parents think he's absolutely crazy.
We're gonna talk about that.
Yeah, he reminds me. When I looked over, I was like, wait a minute, who is that?
Good grammar and spelling are important. But if you want to write essays that inspire, messages that...
Y'all know Uncle Barry got COVID.
Uncle Barry who?
Obama. That's Uncle Barry. Okay. He got COVID. Auntie Shell, she don't have it. She not. But he said all he has is a scratchy throat. And I'm not talking about the queen moving out of the palace. What the hell going on with this world?
Which one of my things?
Betty gone. Betty gone, but this heifer still walking around with her little dog.
I've been in the office since I was a kid.
Before you was a kid? What you mean? She was young as all them dogs when she came in the office. You ain't that old.
I'm pretty sure I'm old as shit.
He is. He's still waiting, bless his heart. I think he gonna go before her.
He ain't gonna never be king.
And then little Camilla was like, well, I'm gonna be queen. No, bitch, you're not. That's why she told Camilla. She was like, yeah, you can be queen. She told her. I'm like, nah.
You ever seen the movie? Was it Get Into the Greek? So Puppy's in that movie, and basically he's talking about them being, because they were basically getting the artist hired to get in there, and he was like, man, Mick Jagger's probably gonna outlive Miley Cyrus. He's like, these British people. He's like, Mick Jagger's probably gonna outlive.
Elton John, oldest dirt, he been looking the same for 40 years.
Nigga's a robot.
Like Elton John, and if you look at the little story of his life, that brother, he could have been gone like a long time ago. I'm confused. Ozzy Osbourne.
How's he still alive?
What, yours? Yours or his?
Queen will put a hit out on us.
And Ozzy.
Yeah, Ozzy, why you still here? Can't even understand what you said.
We can't understand nothing he said.
She broke my heart in the blood, we can leave a stain. I ain't a fool no more. Lost 3 niggas in my webcam. I forgot to turn the webcam mic on.
I thought you Lord.
Yo. So that video gets me all the time because at the end of that video, shout out to Pat Riley, Tuck Rockin' was in studio and he kicked the freestyle, and then a year later he wound up being killed out in Roanoke.
Right.
Was Norfolk, one of the two. I think it was Norfolk. But he was a very talented young man, and I was hoping to get him back in the studio.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, he passed. But we do have that moment, and that moment is special. So.
Right.
Now, let's talk about some craziness. What's his name? Jesse Smollett?
Jesse
Smurfette.
Smollett. I'm not gonna be disrespectful to the Smollett family.
Through with this dude.
So
no, they kept going with it.
I know.
So, his brother just did something, and he was just like, well, they have him in a psych ward right now. And he was like, well, my brother's not crazy.
He's not suicidal.
We're trying to say he's really crazy too.
Right, but here's my thing. I think Jesse has always been crazy.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean he's suicidal.
Yes.
I still don't understand why he would do what he did, and the whole situation was crazy. I kind of knew it was overkill. I knew something wasn't right when you have a noose, yelling racial and gay slurs, and they were Trump supporters. I'm like, that's a trifecta of hate right there. That's not just going to happen randomly. That had to be some made up shit. That shit just doesn't happen.
A lot of people, when they heard it, they said it sounds made up. It sounds like make believe. It also sounds like a Lee Daniels plot. I'm gonna be real with you. You always go with your gut. I personally feel like it was Lee Daniels.
So the funny thing
and there's so many things that point to Lee Daniels.
The funny thing is that I just remember the Dave Chappelle skit. Dave Chappelle, when he said it was racial. He said they put a noose over his neck. They called him they called him the F word. They called him the N word, and and they called something about empire. He was like, what Trump supporter watches Empire? And when he said it, I was just like, yo, it's a joke, but that actually makes sense. He's like, that sounds like something I would say.
But here's my thing. So everything, in my opinion, okay, everything points to Lee Daniels. Whether Jesse was in on it or not, everything points to Lee Daniels. Lee Daniels was the one that recommended Jesse reach out to those two dudes because Jesse was never on set with them. He was supposedly trying to get his body right for his new video.
I'm trying to get us blackballed.
I don't care.
You see what he did to Monique.
No. Did you see what Dame Dash did to Lee Daniels? How about that?
He put the press on him.
How about that?
You ain't got Dame Dash money to do that.
It don't matter. Lee Daniels, let's be real.
Everybody, the real talk is everybody thought Dame Dash was crazy until the footage came out.
And here's my thing. So they say, oh, Jussie Smollett picture from his hospital bed was leaked. Oh, guess what picture was leaked? It was a FaceTime screenshot. Jussie was big. Lee Daniels was little. When you're on FaceTime with somebody, right? Who's in the big picture? The person you're talking to. Who's in the little picture? You. So that means that screenshot came from Lee Daniels' phone.
Can we trust you for that? Because you know you do have an Android.
Man.
First of all, anytime you video chat with somebody, anybody, any video chat that you do, that's how it is.
I don't be video chatting on that, so
oh, I'm sure. I don't believe that, not one bit.
I send still.
Sure. Anyway.
You know what?
Anyway.
You know what?
And then so Lee Daniels referred these gentlemen to Jesse, right? He's the one because he was never on set with these guys. These two guys were an extra. There's pictures of Lee Daniels with these two men.
Oh yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, there are pictures with him posing on set. They were the extras on Empire. Okay, so Lee Daniels referred them. Lee Daniels, it came from his phone, the little leaked picture, right? Also, Lee Daniels removed Jesse from the script for the show, right? All of a sudden, he was like, oh, I have his back, blah, blah, blah. All of a sudden, you pushed him away, right? You removed him from the script. You refused to put him back on the show. Fox renewed his contract. Fox said, no, we renewing Jesse's contract. Lee said, no, I'm not putting him on the show. Next thing you know, Fox said, oh, Empire and Star, which was another show he had, was done. It was over. Because he wouldn't put Jesse in there. So, I mean, why all of a sudden Lee Daniels hating? And then they were saying, oh, Jesse did it because he wanted publicity because Lee wouldn't give him a raise, right? It was supposed to be a private conversation. If Jesse ain't tell the world that, who told that story? Lee. If it was just Jesse and Lee in the room and it got out and Jesse said, no, I ain't do it, who was going to be the one to tell? Lee.
I feel you.
And it sound like a Lee Daniels plot.
I'm not saying you're wrong.
So I think it's
no
Lee.
beef with that dude.
Now, whether or not Jesse was involved, I don't know. But I feel like Lee's the mastermind.
I feel you. I'm not arguing with you. I'm just saying I don't want no problems with that dude. That's all.
Yeah, but Jesse, bless his little heart. That's all I can say. I like him though. I really do.
I like his sister.
So
you know what? He got more than one sister. He got two.
You got a fine sister, right?
Acting sister.
Both of them cute. All of them acted. You know that, right?
For real?
You don't remember that show? All the siblings was in one show.
Nah.
What was it called? You know what I'm talking about?
No.
The parents died, and the oldest had to take care of them. All of the Smollett family was in it, even little Jesse.
I stopped watching TV 6 years ago.
No.
It was on a regular TV
This
station?
was a long time ago.
Oh, yeah.
They were little.
Yeah. I don't know. No.
idea.
If it wasn't wrestling or rap videos or violence, I wasn't watching.
And then both of them, Jesse and Journey, they were acting as kids. So.
So I got a question, and I talked about with CP3, and he probably has a great opinion of this.
Okay.
So I saw this on Michael Basin Live, and he put a post out there, and it says, "Do threesomes help or hurt relationships?" So, let's talk about this.
All right. I want to hear what he got to say.
This is a topic very close to my heart.
I bet it is. Is it to your heart or to your belly button?
I've been blessed to have, bisexual girlfriends, and threesomes were on the table a lot. So there are rules that I would tell my friends.
Put the mic closer so they can hear your bullshit.
This is not bullshit. This is proven, dog. This is proven to work. If you're in a situation with a bisexual female, there are keys to the way to have as much fun as you like. Number one, never pick the girl. Never. Because no matter how fine she is, she's going to think that you might have a thing for her. That's why you picked her. Always let her pick the girl. Most of the time, their taste is pretty decent. They're not going to be, want to be one of those, scallywag or egg with legs.
Scallywag. We still use that word.
I do.
Oh, wow.
I'm old school.
Oh. Bald head scallywag.
I ain't say bald head.
It was from a song. You don't remember the song?
I remember the song.
Okay, I'm sure.
You probably played it in your truck. Go ahead, continue.
On the way here.
Had a nice bass line. But never initiate the conversation about having threesomes.
Mm-hmm.
You move too fast and you will get shut down before you even get a chance to even get a whiff of that so-called fantasy. Mm-hmm. And there's also a warning I give the fellas. If you don't know what you're doing, you can get hurt. Emotionally and physically. Mm-hmm. Because if you can't please one woman, don't try to do two. It might be your so-called fantasy, but if you're not in the right mindset and position, I've seen it wreck men's egos before.
So you heard a story where it went bad? Yes,
there are some. Like I said, that's what I tell it can go bad because some folks get over anxious and either one or two things happen. Old boy don't cooperate, or old boy go off too soon. And both of those situations, if the wah music come on, there's nothing you can do, and you're not going to get. Only if they're real cool, you will get a second shot.
So wait, do you have like a?
I have a handbook I'm working
on.
No.
Is there theme music to your life? He said, wah.
I told you working on the web series.
Did you hear this? Yes. Did you hear this when things happen in your life?
That's why I work on the web. I got a soundtrack to my life.
So the person that told you that, did you console them or did you laugh?
I laughed first, but
I feel no, I can't even say that because he's goofy. He gonna laugh.
I gotta laugh.
I ain't gonna lie. I probably would have laughed too.
I would too, but I would give the sound.
I still, I didn't laugh for a long time, but
you will laugh. You will laugh because you still laughing now.
First of all, you still laughing now, so we know that's some bullshit.
Right.
Because I warned him before. I was like, dog, are you ready for this? Yeah, I got this. All right. I was like,
you give him a pep talk?
Because if I put you through my training course, I got to make sure you're going to succeed. I can't just have you go out there and get the one music.
Your training course?
It's his training course.
I had a training course. We're charging you $9.95.
Shut up.
So...
But it's a fun experience, but you have to handle the situation correctly. And if it's in a relationship, I say, unless the woman wants it, leave it alone because it will ruin your relationship. Trust me. Mm-hmm. And, but if she open to it, it's a good motherfucking time.
Lady Antoinette.
So mine's is a little more realistic. I love you dearly, but
this is real life.
You be in a box or a tunnel.
She just goes with the shade off the back.
This is real life I'm talking about. This is experience.
I feel like this. It all depends on the couple. On one hand, you have people that emotionally cannot handle that. They can't handle seeing even if they think they can before, once they get there, they cannot handle seeing their partner with someone else. So you have that factor. And then you also have the trust issue. Some people do not trust each other, or your man might be a whole entire whore and you don't know, and he might sleep with the woman behind your back. You never know. So you have to have a couple that is emotionally mature. Okay, so it works for some couples. I'm not in the lifestyle. For those who don't know, there is a thing especially in the black community. The black community calls it a lifestyle.
The swinger club.
It's like swinger clubs or just kinky stuff in general. I'm not in the lifestyle, but there are I know a lot of people who are, and that's the thing. You have to, like CP3, what he did say that was true. There are rules, but what those rules are depends on the couple. So it depends on what you guys are comfortable with, but you have to be real about yourself on what you're comfortable with. You know, I've seen couples who had threesomes that shouldn't have, and it backfires on so many different levels. You got the woman who's sleeping with the woman behind the man's back, and she got a whole relationship with this woman. You got the man having a whole relationship with this woman. Sometimes babies come from it, you know. Sometimes the woman leaves her man for this woman, or the man, you know, it's crazy.
Yeah.
You have to be, but before you even have those rules, you have to be emotionally mature. True. You have to know what you can handle, and you have to be real with yourself about what you're going to offer and how you're going to act afterwards. So some people can handle it, some people can't. It just all depends. Once you're real with yourself, if you are able to do it, you know, that a lot of people say they enjoy it and it does help the relationship. But then at the same time, it can really damage you. So I feel like if there's a couple that is contemplating this, you have to be real with it. And there are too many women out here that, oh, well, my man wants a threesome, so I'm going to go ahead and give him one. No, good and well, she is not emotionally mature and can't handle it. Don't put yourself in that situation. Me, I'm stingy. If I like you and we in a relationship, we not going to have a threesome because somebody is going to get knocked off the bed. Oops.
Did you just say knocked off the bed?
Yeah, like, oops, she fell off. How you get down there, girl?
How you get
What
cut?
you doing, boo?
That's not stingy, that's violent.
No, I just knock her off a little bit, but I'm stingy. I'm selfish, you know? Like, I feel like that's mine. You know what I mean? I'm going to push you to the side because that's mine. Now, if I have... You said what?
You ain't going to help her back up?
She probably going to step on her.
What am I helping? You can just sit on the floor and watch. Like, what?
See, that's why you say you got to, like you said, you got to have the right partner for it.
Right. And so for me, if I'm having a threesome, you best believe that ain't my dude. He ain't the one. He ain't the one. I'm not against threesomes, but when it comes to relationships, like, I feel like if any man wants a relationship with me and he wants a threesome, you better catch me while I don't care. Because once I get my feelings involved, now you're not about to be with her.
It's always good to get the female perspective.
I want to say, ladies, to touch on something she said. By giving him a threesome, if you don't want to do it, don't do it.
Don't do it.
Because it's going to fuck with you, and it's going to 9 times out of 10 blow up the relationship.
Yep.
So, and dudes, as I say, don't bring that shit up unless they bring it up. Because it's going to fuck your relationship up unless they bring it up. Because there's no backing out of that question. There's no way to say.
You can have the conversation.
But most of these motherfuckers don't know how to have a conversation. They
right.
say some.
That's what I'm saying.
Shit.
You can have a conversation, but don't put the request in until you know how the person feels about it.
Yeah.
And you have to be honest. That's the key right there. You have to be honest with yourself and understand what you can have.
It's hard for a lot of people to be honest.
Yeah,
right.
That's what I'm about to say. Most of these
people in relationships aren't
honest.
Most people aren't honest. They don't know how to say what they want.
Right.
Or express it the right way.
Right. And that goes back to what I said about being emotionally mature. Like, if you're not there, then you can't. No.
If you feel like you need a threesome to help your relationship, then you need to get out of the relationship.
Well, right, because a relationship now. Don't get me wrong. You got these poly relationships.
Yeah, I mean that's not needing. That's their choice. If you feel like you need this to make the relationship okay, this is what he wants. If I give him this, things will get better.
No, it's not. It's not.
So
it's not. He just gonna be with her later.
But the shit is fun though.
So I got another question. I saw this. I saw this. So that was interesting. We had no guests. So I was like, well, this is stuff we can really talk about.
I want to stay on this for a little while.
Of course you did.
I mean, damn, how much episode you get us?
We don't want to hear your little
I'm
nasty
reminiscing
stories
about
about
my
licking
good old
booties.
days, man. It was
We don't want to hear your nasty stories about licking booties, but not feet,
So-
but not sucking toes.
That
We
was a
don't
nice
want to hear
little.
that.
That was a nice.
So it said, why are men taught how to treat a woman, but women aren't taught how to treat a man?
I disagree with that. I disagree. I feel
Go
like
for it.
back in the day, men were taught how to court a woman, but not necessarily taught how to treat her in a relationship. And women were taught how to take care of their man in a relationship. Nowadays, none of it is taught. So I disagree with that statement because when it was taught for one, it was also taught for the other to a degree. Men were taught how to get that woman, not how to keep her, but the woman was taught how to keep them.
That's some real shit right there.
That's like our grandparents, you know what I mean? Some of our parents. But nowadays, neither one is taught. Men don't know how to get a woman. They don't know how to court a woman. And women don't know how to keep a man.
Yeah,
that's
pretty
some real
So
shit.
One,
nowadays, yeah, that's out the window
so
altogether.
one of the things is this, and I remember me and Black GOP was hanging out. I always think of Black GOP, God, God rest his soul. Was hanging out with two of our homegirls when we was back on Eyes 95, and we went to a restaurant, and it's platonic and stuff, but we noticed before, because the way I was raised, you get the door.
Right.
Before we can even get the door for them, they had already zoomed.
Mm-hmm.
So
Because
when
they
we,
used to not people not getting a door.
so when we sat down for brunch and stuff, we had that conversation. It was like, what type of niggas do y'all deal with? Because then I thought about how we even addressed it. Because when we say what type of niggas y'all deal with,
Niggas.
it answers itself.
Yeah, that's what
Because you are dealing with niggas. You're not dealing with men.
Mm-hmm.
Because a man will get the door. My God rest my stepmom's soul. When I was at a certain age, even when we was in New York, she'd be like, all right, she goes to the gas station.
You pumping.
She's like, I don't pump gas when a man's in the car.
There you go.
Get out and pump the gas.
Mm-hmm.
But I respect her for that.
Right.
There's nothing more frustrating as a man if you on a date and you go to reach for the door to open it and your girl is speed racer.
Right. But here's the thing. It's an ongoing cycle.
Yes.
See, the reason why she's speed racing.
Because she dates a lot of people that don't do that for her.
And a lot of dudes don't do it anymore because the women are doing it. So it's an ongoing cycle. So just like what I said about the men courting women and the women keeping a man, when you remove one, it's an ongoing cycle. Whichever one is removed. So now the men aren't courting the women because these women don't know how to keep them. The women aren't doing anything to try to keep the man because he ain't courting her. So it's an ongoing cycle. Once something is removed, that circle is done. And so now, that's just the state we're in. How do we fix it? Hold your ground. That's all I can really say is hold your ground. I personally, I'm struggling with the fact that there's too many men that don't know how to court a woman. Once we in a relationship, you good. But guess what? You ain't gonna get me in a relationship acting like that.
Yeah,
So I'm gonna
true,
stand
true,
my
true.
ground.
Oh Lord, I just got the worst text ever.
What?
Tom Brady said something about he will return.
I mean, he said it was a rumor, and usually it's some basis to those rumors.
Tom Brady says he will return for another season. Boo.
For what?
Anyway, I don't know. Anyway,
I hate
CPK,
it.
I hate that dude. I hope he gets his leg broke too. Your
my
thoughts
God.
on this?
This Lady Antoinette had a very profound thought process on it. Excuse me. I definitely can agree with her statement on that.
Whoa.
Yeah,
I know, right?
I know it's logical.
That's how we knew it snowed yesterday.
I think I need another drink.
I can't believe these words actually came out
I
your
agree
mouth.
with Lady Antoinette. Oh
You
my
agree?
God.
Oh,
That's why I said I had to cough and get it had to come out first. Had to cough it up for it to come out. But that's an interesting question. Statement. I feel like nowadays, no, But like Lady Antoinette said, back in the day, I feel like women were taught more to cater to a man and, like you say, learn how to keep him. But back in those days, the men, there was no such thing as a good husband back in those days. And one of my favorite comedians, Gerard Carmichael, said, let's be real, your granddad probably hit your grandma. Because being a good husband wasn't a real thing. He wanted certain things when he wanted it. He and that was the dynamic back in the day. Now, after all the evolution of domestic violence and people not knowing how to communicate, people being in relationships for different reasons and situationships, it's not as simple as it used to be. Because now sometimes people are in relationships out of convenience and not because of love. So it's all about doing enough to keep them happy so they can, stay in the lifestyle they're living in or still have a side nigga or a side chick or whatever situation they're in. So to me, it all comes down to, do people know who they are and know how to make themselves happy? Because once you can make yourself happy, you don't need someone else. You want to be in a relationship. You have some people that need to be in a relationship because there's something missing in their lives. And that's because most times that they don't want to analyze the things that's wrong with them or the issues that they have. And once you address those issues, then you're ready for a relationship. But you have folks that's getting in and out of relationships that's not ready for them and scarring other people and along with scarring themselves even more, making them basically untouchable because they're so scarred and so defensive and so thinking about the previous relationship because they haven't had time to heal themselves. And we spoke about going to get mental health. That's a very key thing, being able to have someone to talk to and deal with your feelings and emotions and everything, because this generation doesn't understand emotion, in my opinion, because everything is instant, text message, touch screen. You don't really have to talk to anybody to get stuff. You can hit DoorDash and leave my stuff on the porch. You give them a tip through the app. Okay, have a good day. And, leave
don't even know if they did a good job.
Exactly. So I feel like emotion comes with interaction with people and having everyday conversations. Before I got into sales, I was Lady Antoinette worked with me. She saw how I was. I was an introvert. I was a wish a nigga would mentality. And I was ready for any confrontation that was there. But after, that's because I shut myself off. But once I got into sales and started to have to talk to different people and dealing with different personalities and not snap because they said something I didn't like and learn how to process it and take the emotion out of it, then I learned to be able to communicate and, get my words out and not hit those rage points because they said something I didn't like. So it's all about just getting out there and experiencing it and knowing who you are and what you are before you put yourself in another situation for a relationship and ruin, someone else's emotional stability, not just saying their life that is going to go that bad, but every bad relationship you in scars you and that person, even if you want to admit it or not.
Right, but this is the thing, when you have a bad relationship, you should be able to, in a perfect world, you should be able to learn from it, build on it, and improve going forward, not really allowing that wound to remain open. But you said scar. Scar usually means it has healed and you have a mark to remind you. There are people that are walking around with open wounds. That's the problem.
I get that analogy. I feel it.
So to me, I look at it as, okay, you had a bad relationship. I've had bad relationships. I have, really bad. Some that ended in bloodshed. However, you learn from that. And it's funny that we talked about this because I literally talked to him today.
Hold on.
I literally talked to him today.
You got Stockholm syndrome?
He does. But
how's your scar today?
First of all, this was when I tell you, this was back in 2004. Okay, when that scar, that wound, I should say, happened. Okay, so that was back in 2004, and he's still he's one of those people that he holds on to things that other people did.
Of course.
Now, what I did to him, conveniently, he overlooks that because he knew that was warranted.
Okay?
You don't want
It's
another
fucked
one.
up you stabbed me, but I deserve it.
No, he told me the worst thing I ever did to him was get married to somebody.
Yeah, niggas be like that.
Outside of you scarring him?
And here's the thing. I remember this conversation years
really
ago. I said to him, I said, you know I stabbed you, right? And he got real mad. Because I was like, how is that the worst thing that I ever did?
You know, sad.
We weren't together. I had already stabbed you.
That means he really loved it as you, girl.
And then when I go and when I move on and marry somebody else, now you mad? That's the worst thing?
You know, secret reasons.
And he said, you wouldn't marry me. Right.
That's what made it worse.
I wouldn't marry you because I had to stab you.
I shed blood for you, girl.
Right.
Secret reasons is so inappropriate.
He is, but at the same time, you should have seen my face when I was like, what? The worst thing. So, the way you view things is different than everybody else.
Yeah.
So all you can really focus on is you healing from what you have and moving on. But he's one of those people they harbor on.
Yeah, most folks don't heal.
The wrong things, clearly. Because I'm like, bruh.
So let's do another music break. Because
it was me this time.
He loved it as you, girl. That shit hurt. It's nothing like when you really love a motherfucker, you know you fucked up and then they go move on. That shit hurt.
Right.
Yeah,
and then apparently it hurt worse than those 9 stitches that he needed.
9?
Damn.
Okay, I might have told
you. I did 2, but who got an assault charge around here?
I don't have an assault charge, thank you very much.
Alright, let's play the video.
Anymore? Got it spun.
Cut the mic! Cut the mic!
I was down, now I'm really trying to go get up.
See, here's the thing. Cut your mic.
It's hard to cut.
Wait a second.
What you get when you go fuck with the vision?
He gotta make sure this is cut.
If you watching, I just gotta get up. I was just pushing this white.
Yeah, it came through.
I was just dirty now. I got my fit up.
Yeah.
Too good for these bitches. I'm
back
gonna
to
miss
Tampa.
us. And now I can beg you
What
to
they
think that
just
I'm
said
strong.
when that tweet came out that it was just a rumor, it wasn't official to hear Tom Brady.
Look.
Even though niggas don't know what to get on, you ain't shit. So your niggas gon' get on.
You know what I mean? You can't say he's not a good quarterback.
He's a good
Do
quarterback.
you think he's a Hall of Famer?
I don't think he's the best teammate.
No,
Definitely,
we
he's a
know
douche.
that. We know
I
that.
don't think he's a good dude.
He's a piece of shit.
Jordan wasn't the best teammate.
Yeah.
But Jordan got 6 rings.
You're right, but I'm just saying.
That
Jordan
one ring.
easily.
I'm only speaking of what he said about the being a good teammate. But at the end of the day,
If you're not gonna be a good teammate, you gotta produce.
but you can't produce. In football, you can't produce like how you can in basketball and being a bad
Yeah, he
teammate.
sniffed the
You
NFC
can't.
Championship game since he won that Super Bowl. Let alone the Super Bowl. So he's great, then they get the excuse he didn't have no help.
I was just down, now I'ma get
Like I said, you can't win in football. You cannot win without your team. You can't.
But he's had a team. He just hasn't been able to get over the hump and make it happen like Tom Brady.
That's what I'm saying. You have to get along with your team. Tom Brady buys his team Rolex watches.
He's a good teammate.
Oh, you ain't know that?
Oh yeah,
He buys
they
his
treat
line.
They treat the offensive linemen. They protect
He
them.
buys his line the Rolexes, honey.
Shit, some of the bonuses they give some of these dudes, yeah, $100,000, $200,000.
First of all,
cars.
Do you know who his wife is?
Yeah.
Tom might not even have to pay for the Rolexes. Real talk.
Like you said, Tiger Woods, when his wife messed up his car, his new car was sponsored by Buick. He ain't had to buy a new car. Buick gave him a new car.
All this money these people got, and they get so many things for free. And people be looking at me crazy.
So, like lighting software.
When I be trying to get stuff.
How long y'all? This show is good for 2 what were the rest?
State of Virginia allowed me to have it.
He's already good.
So when he did it again, before he did it again, I said, guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go ahead and I'm not gonna hold him, I'm gonna cut you. Get that bag, ho. So guess what happened? He did it again, so I can cut you.
The camera's showing still on because it's still the music playing. So I have to feed up the line. I want you to set someone up.
And plus, it's in 2004.
I am the best, fuck all the rest, out the back, put bitch on blast, my fucking nigga in the back of your legs, he said my pussy the best, he let me burn up a check, rushing out of my neck, princess got diamonds on flex, flirting with bitches, savage shit, ain't no miss for the average bitch, word on shit, I'm fucking stuff, gotta let people be family, do me off, got a bitch on floor, fall through, birthday speech, he wanna take the class piece,
Retirement village in front of Waldorf. My sister told Caitlin to kiss her ass. Caitlin told my sister to kiss her ass and called her out her name. My sister said, I'm done with all of y'all, left me and went back home. Now they're at my mom's place right now. She don't know what to do. She called my niece Kiana and she said she was trying to see what she can do. And I gotta try to know what I mean. Caitlin just turned 16, 17.
And she's smelling herself. And I know you don't want to hear this, but she's crazy.
Better play your position.
That's usually what it is. Or some little boy like her. It could be both, though. It don't matter. She's smelling herself. That's what happens when little girls around that age, when they start acting like that, it's because their confidence is built up. They think they're a grown woman. They don't care. Like my son, when he start wilding out, and y'all know I'm crazy. My son know I'm crazy, and he still trying.
My sister used to wild out in her teenage stuff like she don't know what she fucking with. She act my sister actually with my dad one time. My dad knocked my sister out one time. Cause she tried to go at my dad. My dad was 6'5", 350 pounds.
Let me tell you something. And on top of that, if your sister used to wild out, your niece is paying her back. That's karma. That's what happens. Because my son, the fact that he acted too much like me, it reminds me every day. My son was 2 and he cut another kid. And I had to tell my ex-husband, I said, I need you to get your son. Because I'm a discipliner. He got that genetically from me. I was like, get your son. You're going to tell me these babies made me mad. That's why he did it. Yeah, that's what he was saying.
Yo.
Hola.
So, CP3, just say no to violence. Are you scared when you sit next to Lady Antoinette sometimes?
Sometimes I do, wonder, might be some concealed weapons around here I don't know about.
I'll let you know that I have weapons.
Yeah, to her credit, she does let you know that.
That's the ones that we know of.
No, let me say something. I'm never going to do something to somebody that I didn't already let them know about beforehand.
Right.
If I tell you, oh, if you do X, Y, Z, this is what I'm going to do.
But I don't be doing
you can't be
anyway.
surprised if you do X, Y, Z.
I don't be doing nothing anyway.
So that means you don't have nothing to worry about.
But still, you might get the urge to stab a nigga
No,
just because.
no, I don't do that. That's what I'm saying.
Right, just checking.
Let's talk about Kimora Lee Simmons. Her ex-husband was married and was cyberly posting as wife to convince Kimora Lee he That wasn't him. If that makes any sense.
Say what now?
What?
He was basically catfishing.
He was playing a super shady. It wasn't me.
So wait, what? He
was getting married.
He was basically catfishing Kimora Lee.
Wow.
Because apparently he was already married to somebody else.
Oh shit! Let me slide in her DM.
But he was trying to convince her that wasn't. What did you just say?
So let me slide in her DM. I ain't
we
married.
gonna ignore what he said.
Just saying, shit. Give me a shot.
You only seeing dollar signs.
Huh?
Huh? If you can you can hear.
Sell cars with a Rolex on.
So basically, Tim testified under oath on Tuesday he pretended for years to be his then wife, Shiny Harris's Judy Chan, and sent fake emails to his future wife, Kimora Lee, when they began their relationship. Damn.
He's weird. But that's almost as bad as oh boy, who was lying about being a member of the Belafonte family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So basically, he created a fake email account and posed as his ex-wife to convince Simmons that he wasn't a whole married man while he was trying to shoot his shot.
So in the course of their relationship, he went ahead and got a divorce, right? And then married her.
Yes.
Okay. That's terrible.
Oh, no.
Oh, so he married both?
He married Simmons in 2014, even admitted to faking divorce documents in order to marry her while he was still married to Chan.
That means their marriage was null and void.
And I'm fucking single. See, you some bullshit.
I'm single too.
That's some wild shit.
Okay. I don't even have pretend married people trying to holler, okay? So I understand.
So Congress finally did something right after 80-something years. Congress approves Emmett Till bill, saying that lynching is a hate crime after decades of trying.
And during COVID, you remember what they did to the Asian community?
Yeah.
That was quick. Really quick.
Real quick. Asian hate crime. Asian hate. This, for one...
It's us, I'm sorry, it's African Americans, that's what the term they choose to use, and Native Americans that are last on the books, always.
It's crazy because, like, didn't the lady who got Emmett Till killed admit on her deathbed or something like that?
She admitted that. She wasn't on her deathbed when she admitted that.
Oh, okay.
She's just old.
She should have still went to jail.
You're right. They sent Bill Cosby to jail.
A boy lost his life. A 14-year-old boy lost his life.
Because of you.
Because of you.
Because you lied.
That's kind of the topics I wanted to touch on about, the false rape allegations.
Oh, because I said Bill Cosby?
Well, no, because Chris Brown just had a false rape allegation. He
had a couple, but we talked about the one.
Yeah,
but he posted the text message from the lady afterwards. It was like, I was the best sex you ever had, and all this other stuff. And really, I think they made it.
It doesn't sound like a
rape. It doesn't sound like rape.
But should the accused be charged with the crime?
Yes, that is actually a crime. So it's not should they be charged, it's why aren't they being charged?
True.
Because I'm going to be real with you. If I go and file charges, or look at Jussie Smollett, why is Jussie, this is such a big case? Because they feel he lied in court documents. They want to make an example out of him. Nobody was physically hurt in this situation. Nobody's pockets were hit other than the quote unquote government, which, let's be real, they spend money on frivolous things all the time.
I mean, they're talking about him serving 150 days for a case that's over 3 years old. Like,
but that's
a waste.
You got people making false claims on the regular that literally hurts people.
Yeah.
We've heard this story a million times. Football player in college, top of the game, got a scholarship. NFL is in his sights. Some 16-year-old girl says, oh, he raped me. Everything gets snatched from him. No more scholarship, no more college, no more NFL. He goes to jail. Now is considered a sex offender, just to find out she lied later on.
Sure indeed.
That happens too often, and nothing happens to the women who are lying. And the problem is that when it comes to that culture, you're hurting the real victims, because when we find out that you lying and nothing happens to you, now when these other victims over here come forward,
we think they're lying too.
Right. So you're hurting the culture. They're just as responsible for this particular culture as the rapists are, because you're making it so that we don't even believe these people. So I think they should get charged. People who file false claims like that. But that particular girl, for Chris Brown, she didn't file a police report.
She filed a civil case.
She filed a civil case, which in turn, I feel like Chris should sue her.
He probably will.
I feel like he should sue her. Look at Cardi B. She just won her case. That chick owes her $4 million.
Yeah.
And Chris should sue that girl.
And the lady's still screaming that she's innocent.
Even her husband got on the stand against her.
You need to get out, because now he on the hook for that $4 million too, because they married. You better roll.
You better get a divorce.
Fuck that.
In crazier news.
Oh shit.
This only can happen in the country.
In the U.S.?
2 men killed by a camel that escaped from a Tennessee petting zoo.
I don't want to laugh.
Yeah, you do, because you're laughing now.
I don't want to. That's what I'm saying.
2 men were killed by a rampaging camel that escaped from a petting zoo in Tennessee, according to local authorities.
But real talk, they did. I've heard this before, that camels can be very dangerous. We look at a camel, he chilling, you know, they spitting, they stinky, but we don't think they dangerous. They can be.
I don't get that close to him, so.
But what do you do when you walking down the street? Because first of all, it escaped. So this is not their natural environment. If you in the desert somewhere and you see a camel, you're not going to get close to it. But what you do when you come outside and you going to go check your mail and the camel come running down the street?
You know what you do like back in the old days. You get around that car and you keep going around in the circle so that motherfucker don't catch you. Stop playing. Stop playing, baby D. Stop
but
playing.
at what point, like, I feel like you should run and maybe run in a zigzag or something, like somebody shooting at you.
You're going to have some shock, like, okay, it's a camel in my hood.
So I looked at the picture, and I'm just going to assume the other gentleman is white, because the guy's white.
I don't have I'm not trying to, I'm not racist, guys. I'm just saying it's something about the black people and our culture.
If I see a camel coming,
we gone, we out.
I grew up in the hood. If I see a pit bull coming down the street on a leash, I'm not walking that way.
You know, you seen a poodle, not the toy poodle. But
no, I seen a real poodle. No, I ain't fucking one of those. The big joints. Nah.
Thank you. Let me tell you something. 101 Dalmatians. We see the Dalmatians. The Dalmatians are vicious. If I remember, there was a big Dalmatian in my neighborhood. That joint used to always get out. We was gone.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm not playing. No.
I'm not trying to calm a camel down. I mean, I'm just being honest with you.
No.
If I'm walking down the street and I see, look, real talk.
If I see a camel, I'm running.
There are deer on Richmond Highway.
Oh no, I don't mess with
There are deer on Richmond Highway. When I lived in Southeast, off of when I came from Southern Avenue, there were deer.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen deer with antlers.
Yep.
I ain't about that life. I see what deer do to cars when they run into them.
Yep.
You know.
And we also saw one of the first viral videos back in the day when YouTube kind of just started up. Y'all remember that video of the deer attacking that white man who was he tore him up. He was on his hind legs going like he tore that man up. We not messing with that.
He's so behind with Ali for like, I'm gonna fuck this nigga up.
So I'm not.
You laughing too hard.
I see a runaway camel. I'm not the guy to call to try to capture it.
No, I'm not.
I ain't about that life.
I will call animal control.
There would be some shock because you come out.
My idea captured it.
Yeah, but shocked versus let me go intervene and help this animal.
Look, my idea caption would be I'd have to go home, load my weapon, click.
Man, you gotta go pop the trunk.
Yeah. Yep. Somebody gonna get
We about
somebody
to
cook
have
the
camel
camel
burgers,
tonight.
y'all. We having
Let me tell
camel
you
burgers,
something.
baby.
If the camel
What that hump taste like?
survives and I have done anything to intervene, it is because I called animal control.
Yeah, I'm not.
That is it.
We having camel hump soup tonight.
That's what I'm saying.
You know what?
If the camel survives and I have done something to intervene, it's because I called animal control. I'm not doing either. The camel gotta go.
We find the grill up. Fuck that.
Not doing none of that.
You about to have some camel burgers.
That's fine.
So this is a very sad case. In Oregon, a woman gave birth to a baby on the sidewalk, and in true Brenda's Got a Baby fashion, left the baby on the sidewalk.
That happens. They don't report it, but it happens. People wrap babies up, put them in the trash can. People wrap babies up, leave them at the firehouse. They do all kinds of stuff. At the church. It's sad. It is sad. That's the whole reason why Tupac did Brenda's Got a Baby, because
it was a real life story.
It was a story. It's real. And that was how long ago?
In 90s.
92, 93, 91, something like that.
Exactly. That's 30 years ago. That's crazy. I just made myself feel real old.
I thought you was only 25.
That's why I made myself feel old.
So the mother actually wasn't cooperative, and it seems like I was reading that the mother may be suffering from a little bit of mental issues.
Probably.
But it's sad that something like that happens.
Yeah.
Especially to a child, because children are innocent.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the same thing with that situation. It's like the respect for life. I don't feel like folks have their respect for life anymore.
But see, in that situation, if she has a mental illness,
mental illness,
yeah,
true.
that's different.
Because especially not depending on how old she is, her body could be in shock, especially having it on her own.
Not even that. Like, she could have already had an existing
stuff. But there's so many X factors into it. So, it's a sad situation in this world right now.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me. I watch Discovery ID, so it's a lot of true stories that be on.
Here we go.
I'm just saying, some of the stuff that I see that's actual true stories, the way people discard people after they've killed them for whatever dumb reasons.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, I just want to ask, when do we as a society get to that where someone's life is worth taken away because it'll make your life unpleasant because they'll expose some truth that you did or something that'll change your lifestyle to make you uncomfortable? When did it become cool, acceptable for someone to even have that thought process? When did we stop devaluing life and just decide to toss somebody's life away?
Yeah. Unfortunately, it's a result of the way our society kind of has been moving through the course of time. It's not just not valuing life.
It didn't just start. It's been going on.
Result of.
It's been going on, but it's like it's amplified. Like I wanted to talk about this.
Well, see, the main thing that's amplified is that we know about it because we have more access. So, real talk, when it comes to police brutality or racism and things like that, right now, this is not the worst it's ever been. It's not.
Well, yeah.
But this is the worst as far as the information that has been provided to us.
Because you see it more.
But see, think about when people didn't have video cameras. Think about it like this. These police officers that are committing these crimes, because it's a crime.
Yeah.
But these police officers who are committing a crime, or anybody for that matter, but every average person, people have video cameras on their phones now, right?
Yeah, so
and they're still doing it. Imagine back when your chances of getting caught were lessened. Where you don't think, we got cameras everywhere, so you can get caught easier now than you could back in the day. So it was worse. These are people who know they could possibly get caught because of our technology, and they're still doing it. Sure. So what about back in the day when it was easier to get away with?
I understand all of that. I'm speaking about present time.
Give me 1 second, CP3, because I'm about to. The conversation we just had is going to be available about a week or two on Spinwax Radio. So I'm about to end that part of the show. Mm-hmm. But we'll still,